Yes, yes, yes. Pasha, Mr. Big Jingles, don't worry, we are here now. We are here. Tundi's out in America, so we'll be getting some live link ups with him because he's live at the fight. Him and Anti Yard. You saw the post. No skyline. I'm not asleep. I've been awake. I've been watching all of the fights. If you guys didn't know, last week I lost my beloved mother. So, in the words of Baba Tundi Ajayi, dream it, believe it, become it. And I'm saying, come on down. Massive fight today because we've got a big unification fight between Joel Smith Jr. and Arthur Beterbiev, or Beterbiev as we call him in the UK. So, you know what I mean? Looking forward to this fight. Bad looking forward to this fight. Going to be in and out with the Black Book powers. You know what I mean? Gary's been up from early as well. I don't think the babies allow Gary to sleep. And we're ready to go do this fight, man. Daniel J. Boateng, how you doing, my friend? Big up, my brother. So yeah, as you know, Tundi and Iyad are out live at this show at Madison Square Gardens. Well, it's a corner piece of Madison Square Gardens. It's not the true piece. Tundi is in America right now, so he's at this fight because you know that Anti Yard and is scheduled to fight the winner. So you know what I mean? We're looking forward to this one. We are looking forward to this one. I'm gonna phone Tundi in a second and get you know what I mean and get some feedback from him on what's going on. In fact, I'm gonna call him in a second. 1 second. So Simon, don't worry. We'll be hearing from Tundi. Because no one can't hype up a fight like Tundi. But you guys don't even know how much it's taken for me to even come on this live. Um, you know what I mean? Last week it's been a week and a day since I've lost my mom. So for me to, yes, big up Reds. So for me to come on this thing right now, it's like, and it's a kind of crazy one as well. True Blitz, you know what? I'm surviving. You know what I mean? I'm surviving. For me, to be honest, 2005, I lost my dad. And when I lost my dad, that that broke me, you know, when I lost my dad. But you see, me just keeping this thing 100, me being a mummy's boy and being sport, well, I'm a mummy's boy. I was a mummy's boy, hardcore. Um, they diagnosed my mum with cancer on the 3rd of March this year. That was 17 years from when my dad died. I'll get a phone call saying that, yeah, she's got cancer of the liver and there's nothing that we can do about it. And when I say like nothing they could do about it, they were saying there's nothing that they could do about it. So I see my mum just reduced to skin and bone. You know what I mean? Sigon, thank you very much, man. So it was like from when I was seeing that, it was like, yeah, we're just trying to keep my mom in good spirits and all the rest of it. And that's I mean, and like loads of people was like showing me mad support, but not a lot of people knew. Then I started to speak about it openly because I just knew like I'm preparing for the time of like my mom's ascension. Hence why, you know what I mean, thank every single person and loads of people who come on the lives who came down to me. We had a celebration of life for my mother before she passed. Because like in Jamaican culture, we have a thing called a nine night. And on the ninth night is where everybody goes out and they celebrate someone who's passed, and they eat fish, reminisce on old stories and blah. That's what they do to honor the dead. No, sir, we're honoring the dead for. We're going to honor you while you're here. Loads of times when we speak about giving people their flowers. Give people their flowers. Give people their flowers while they're here. It's no good like when they pass and then you're doing like the biggest cries, you're coming with the biggest bouquet of flowers, you're doing all these kind of things. But when they were here, you weren't showing them that love. So I thank God that we we put together X dot, thank you very much. That we gave my mom her flowers here. I mean, we gave her flowers here. We had a beautiful celebration for her. And then after that, this is only 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I mean, this is only 2 weeks ago. Sorry, 3 weeks ago. This is only 3 weeks ago now. And then after that, my mother's health deteriorated even more. So, you know what I mean? And for these kind of things, I'm just so grateful that my mom got to spend time with her grandchildren. She got to stay around my home with, you know what I mean? And the maddest thing is this. I go to the hospice because my mom was in St. Christopher's Hospice. And please, if anybody wants to make any form of donation, yeah, just type in St. Christopher's Hospice. They've got quite a few around. It's a charity. Yeah. I know a couple of people that's passed away. Errol Christie, the former incredible golden talent that we had in the 80s, he caught cancer. He passed away in that same hospice. And my godfather actually passed away in that same hospice. And if anybody's got any form, you know what I mean, any form of money to send over for bereavements or things like that, send it to St. Christopher's Hospice. The way they treat people inside that hospice is on another level. You know what I mean? On another level. Nicholas, I'm telling you, that's nice, bro. You have to agree that we should be celebrating life 100%, and we don't celebrate life. So my mom got moved to, and I got to big up this little young youth called John, who was staying with Mrs. Princess Rose's son. My mom's got a friend. She's only 37. I'm not talking about your business here. And she just befriended my mom. Jamaican lady, really befriended my mom. Was tight to my mom for about 3 years. And she would do everything. She'd cook, clean, everything for my mother. This woman has become my sister. And her son, who's about 17, at night would stay with my mom overnight. Just to check that everything's cool with my mother, everything else. And I'm going back and forth from my house to stay around my mom. And that family was different breed, man. Trust me. Trust me, different breed. So, what was it? I believe it was on Monday. I said, let me just drive down to see my mom early in the morning after I've done the school run. I drive down to see my mom. And when I drive down there, I see an ambulance outside the house. I straight away think, oh, mate, it's my mum. Go to the concierge who acts as security of the buildings. And he was saying, it's an ambulance here, but I don't think it's for your mum. But as I go up the stairs now, I see it's for my mum. And she gets wheeled out. She gets taken to St. Thomas's Hospital. And as she's in the hospital, you know, it was at that time she was in pain. Because she had cancer of the liver, her stomach was grotesquely swollen. She lost a lot of weight. And I was like, you know what? Boy, this is it, you know? And then after that, she's in hospital for about a week. Then they moved my mom from there over to St. Christopher's Hospice, which is in Sydenham in London. And she's in the hospice. And when you go to the hospice, that's the preparation for you to die. So last week, Wednesday, I'm with my mom in the hospice. And my mom is a soldier. My mom refused to take the morphine because it drugs you out. My mom says she doesn't want it because she wants to spend time with me in a stable mind. So my mom said, nah, I don't really want it. And it's kind of weird because my mother suffered from Alzheimer's, uh, and there was no Alzheimer's or anything wrong with my mother. Her memory just came back strong, and everything else she was like as right as rain with me. And all my mom would do from her hospital bed, right? And this, I'm telling you now, she was reduced to nothing. Would just stretch out her hands and say, "Come, son, just hug me. Just give me a kiss. Just give me a kiss. Just give me a kiss." I'll just kiss my mom, and she'd, "No, come on the bed. Come on the bed, son." And I'll jump on the bed, and she'll just hug me. I'm in a hospice. You know what I mean? And she'll just hug me and hug me and hug me and kiss me. And I go home, and then while I go home, I'm knackered. I said, let me just get a couple hours sleep because they've allowed me to stay in they've allowed me to stay in the ward with my mom. So I was like, okay, then what I'm gonna do, I went home, got sleep, I woke back up. I had a 3 hour sleep. Woke back up. I had a shower. And I had the shower. I said, right, child, let me just go down to the hospital now, to the hospice. I jump in my car. As I jump in my car, I get a phone call, and it was the hospice saying like, your mother's breathing's changed. So as I go and check that, okay, her breathing's changed. Don't make a difference. I got there in about 10 minutes. I was talking to Tundi about it. I said, right, I don't believe that I was driving fast, but I was driving fast. I got there in 10 minutes. Um, I was time with her. I have to massive big up to my father-in-law, Ted Roy Powell. Cause my missus was like, you know what, Spence? Um, you can't go by yourself. But I said, no, I don't want you to come with me. And then we're coming back in the house and telling the kids anything bad. So she phones her dad. Her dad was sleeping in bed. He rushes down to the hospital with me. He's there. And while he's there, you know what I mean, he says prayers and all the rest of it and with my mum. And my cousin Donald was there, who my mum delivered. And then we get about 1 o'clock. Father-in-law says he's got to go. He goes, and within 28 minutes, so it's 1:30 in the morning. I mean, I'm stroking my mom's hair, and she takes her last breath. And I can't even cry no more because I'm just happy that my mother's not in any pain. But what I am doing is like I'm feeling anxiety right now. So, because Tundi was away and it's about consistency, hence why we didn't do the show last week. We say we got to go do this time, we got to do the show now. And like everybody and Gary and everyone on the team's like, well, it's understandable if we don't do it. But because this fight is of major significance, Beterbiev just walked into the ring. You know what I mean? And Joel Smith is on his way to the ring now as well. I said, let's jump on this one because Anti Yar's live in the studio for ESPN. Tundi's out there. You know what I mean? Let's go do this one. And not only that, but I find on this, for the people who jump on the lives, very, very therapeutic for me. Very, very therapeutic. So I'm grateful for you guys. You know what I mean? I'm just keeping this thing 100. But yeah, the pain of losing your mum, bruv, oh my word. My mum was 88 years young. So that kind of pain, as yeah, it's smashed me up. Hence why I posted on social media. Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to talk to nobody and and all the rest of it at that time. But you know what? The love that I've received from so many people, like if you go check my Instagram, it's been mad. And yeah, I mean, CJ, Nico, I'm telling you this now. Call your mum. Make sure that you let your mum know that you love her. All right. And you know what? The reason why I can't really complain about nothing because I've done everything within my powers. That's why enough times when I'm meant to be doing a show, but I'm jumping on the show late because I was knackered because I was at the hospital every single day. So now it seems like these guys are in the ring and they're ready to go. And I'm hyped for this one. Trust me, I'm hyped for this one. Properly hyped for this one. And straight after, even in the middle of the rounds, I'm going to try and call Tundi and we can get some little bit of gossips. But you know, it's coming from my phone. So it's coming from my phone. It's no, Gary ain't sent him a link. But hopefully we can get Tundi and Yard tomorrow for our show that we do tomorrow. And we know like it's Father's Day tomorrow, so I'm going to spend a lot of time with my children and everything else. But we're still doing the show tomorrow. And I might be doing some live Zoom thing with my family members who are back home in Jamaica for my mum because my mum said she didn't want a 9 night. That's why we had the celebration for my mum 2 weeks before, a week before she chipped out. You know what I mean? Michael Thomas, thank you very much. Just bear love. Listen, end of the day, you know what I mean? I'm grateful. You know what I mean? I'm just grateful. And it's you people that's helped me go through this, you know. But there's been certain men who have been different level. Certain man being different level. One of the first men to offer condolences to me was Anti Yard. You know what he went through last year, the year before last, with him losing his family members. Joshua Boazzi, I have to big him up. Next man I got to big up hard is KD. You know what I mean? Who works for, what was it, 258 Management. That brother there, I got a different level of respect for him. Lawrence Okoli, another one, different level of respect. There's certain people within the fight industry who's like, Spen, you're right, Tony Bellew, Dave Caldwell, I mean, Adam Booth, who've been very, very supportive. I don't want to miss out no names, but on those man there, but the guy, you see that Tunde Ajayi? That's my brother. Because Tunde must have been like the fifth person I called after my mom passed away. And Tunde was like, I'm coming to your house now. Da, da, da. I said, bro, you know what I want to do is just be left alone, you know, no disrespect. And I mean, me and my missus just went out for some, I must have spent about $1,000 on food. We just went out to some swanky restaurant. But now, that's enough about Miss Daphne Fearon, my beloved mother. Let's get it on. Joel Smith Jr. has just been announced. And you know that Joel Smith Jr. is actually of Irish descent. Remember, this is not the main Madison Square Gardens. This is on the corner piece of Madison Square Gardens. Nicholas, my prediction, I'm going to tell you this. Tunde's got a feeling that Joel Smith Jr. is going to knock out Beterbiev, yeah? But I've got to go with Beterbiev. And I think Beterbiev, I'm going to go for points. The something's been saying around about 7 or 8 stoppage for him, but I'm going to go for him for points. But the thing about it is this: Beterbiev, as we saw when he fought Callum Johnson, he's very, very susceptible to taking left hooks. He went down from a left hook, and people said, "Oh, it was a flash knockdown." It was a hurtful enough shot that dropped him. So I would turn around and say that I'm going for Beterbiev. But a lot of people are saying like Joe Smith, that you both time, thinking like, wow, Joe Smith, Tyrone Booth, Beterbiev in the seventh round. So I'm interested to see. I'm properly interested to see. Right, we're gonna be away now. 1 second, let me just drink some water. Both men bouncing up and down. They're looking very, very serious. Now the fight is about to start. Both men wearing dark shorts as well. Beterbiev come out to the center of the ring. It's Joe Smith Jr. that's starting off with a jab, then a left hook. You know what? Joe Smith just threw a left hook, but very similar to Bernard Hopkins, the man that he punched through the ring. It was that 6 years ago. Big overhand right from Beterbiev. And Joe Smith Jr. tried to fight back with his left hook. Good left hook there from Joe Smith Jr. Beterbiev trying good little head movement there, moving over to his left. Now he's over to his right. Is he looking to throw that right hand? Joe Smith Jr. is popping out that left jab. Short with a 1-2 there from Beterbiev. He fell short with that. Joe Smith Jr. No head movement administered by Joe Smith Jr. I'm kind of amazed by that. Good hard right hand to the body from Joe Smith Jr. Both men keep on watching each other. Keep on watching. Jab, jab. You know what? Beterbiev is looking to throw that right hand because he moves over to his right, but then he stops and he sits down on the shot to throw that right hand. But you know what? I'm amazed because it's Joe Smith Jr. that is the one that's aggressive, that's moving forward, and Beterbiev is the one that's backing up. Good movement there from Beterbiev. Joe Smith is properly on this fight. I like good right hand there from Joe Smith Jr. And he's roughing up Beterbiev. Beterbiev looked very dry in there. He's like because of where he's from, like he's very pale in skin tone, but he looks dry. Don't look no sweat on him. Joe Smith Jr. has got good right hand, left hook downstairs from Joe Smith Jr., but the right hand was from Beterbiev. That kind of wobbled Joe Smith Jr. there. I'm not gonna lie to you. Good overhand right. It's not really. Beterbiev is finding them hard shots and Joe Smith Jr. is down, but it's called a no knockdown from the referee. Good jab to the body from Beterbiev. Jab back from Joe Smith Jr. Good right hand from Beterbiev. The right hand back from Joe Smith Jr. is a little bit short. Good jab again. Good right hand from Beterbiev. Good jab again from Beterbiev. Joe Smith Jr. jabbing back. Jabbing back again from Joe Smith Jr. Why is Joe Smith Jr. not moving his head? I don't get it. He's got his hands up, but he's not no head movement. Good right hand again from Beterbiev. Joe Smith Jr. falling a bit short with his shots. Good double jab. Good left hook from Beterbiev. Good left hook back from Joe Smith Jr. Joe Smith Jr. should be doubling up his jab. That's what he should be doing. Ooh, overhand right. That's called a knockdown. That is a knockdown. And it's like a cuffing right hand that Beterbiev throws. It's not like he's not throwing it straight. He cuffs you with it. 10-8 round. Bobby Wright, big up, my brother. Let me to the next thing. Bobby Wright, thank you for the support. Bobby Wright just phones me up. He says, Spence, I know what you're going through. Let me send a little donation to help you out with your mum. And you know what you sent. And I'm eternally grateful for your help and support, my friend. Yeah, I mean, big up yourself, Bobby. Listen, the shot that caught Joe Smith, Beterbiev doesn't throw, he throws a cuffing right hand. So he doesn't throw it straight, he throws it round here. So you could actually time it to block it, then throw a counter off of it, but you've got to be very sharp. And it caught Joe Smith Jr. and it caught him like kind of around the back of the head, like around the back. And they're the shots that kind of befuddle you. And it kind of hit him, hurt him, but it dragged him down to the canvas. So it's a 10-8 round to Beterbiev. And that is a big start because I'm trying to think, when have we seen Joe Smith Jr. get knocked down and knocked down so early? I think they were saying that he's never been knocked down before. Beterbiev back out with his 2 double jabs. Coming again with that overhand right. He's got a good jab again from Beterbiev. You know what? If Joe Smith Jr. is smart, he could time this year and throw a left hook and catch Beterbiev. Because Beterbiev throws a shot, then he skittles over to his right-hand side, which is leading him into the left hook. Real bully boy tactics again from Beterbiev. Listen, Joe Smith Jr. is battling back because that's the only way that he knows how to fight. Good. Oh, Joe Smith Jr. again is down with that fudding right hand. Why? I don't know why he ain't keeping his left hand up like a telephone box to block that shot. Over again, and we're only in round 2. And Joe Smith Jr. is doing what he only knows how to do. He's trying to fight fire with fire, which is a disgusting mistake that he's making. Right now, he should be doing things to clear his head. Beterbiev pressing forward now. Good right hand downstairs to the body from Beterbiev. Good over the hand right from Beterbiev. Good left uppercut. Good right uppercut. Beterbiev has got him backed up on the ropes. He's punched him back now. Joe Smith Jr. is down again. This is the 3rd time that he's been down. We are only 1 minute 38 in round 2. Right. It's ridiculous power that Beterbiev has got. Good right uppercut there. Joe Smith Jr. still standing there with him. Bit of roughing up, and he's just been warned by the referee. Beterbiev is looking for that right hand again. Joe Smith Jr., to his credit, he's trying to fight fire with fire, which is silly. It's too much machismo. He's getting hurt badly. These right hands are hurting him. Good left hook downstairs from Beterbiev. It's the overhand right that constantly keeps on getting him. Keep your hands up, Joe Smith. Jab back there from Joe Smith. He's trying, but there's nothing left in it. Good right hand again. Good right hand again from Beterbiev. Uppercut from Beterbiev. He's wobbled again, and the fight is over. The fight is over. 2 minutes, 20 seconds of round number 2, and the fight is done. That was an impressive performance. We've never seen this ever been done to Joe Smith Jr. Beterbiev is a monster. And that was a monstrous performance. We have to give it what we're giving it. But I'd like to see him in with somebody who knows how to move their head. I'd like to see him in a fight with someone who's got power, who can throw back. The next fight up is with our guy Anthony Yard. the beast from the east. And a lot of people are going to be looking at this and think, oh, wow, what a performance. Listen, if you walk into a man's trap, you're trying to fight fire with fire, but you ain't got the speed, you ain't got the boxing brain. This is no disrespect, he's a very experienced man, but you haven't got the boxing brain, you're trying to fight fire with fire, you're going to come a cropper. And that's what just happened there. So you made Beterbiev look better than what he really is. He's a good fighter, but he just made him look better. Joe Smith Jr. made the cardinal sin. The cardinal sin. Former heavyweight champion of the world. I'm just watching it. Sorry, former heavyweight champion of the world, George Foreman said, "You never follow a puncher." And here was Joe Smith Jr., who can bang, but he ain't on the puncher power of Beterbiev. He's coming forward to try and fight Beterbiev. Oh, it was a horrible right hand that caught him at the top of the cranium that befuddles you, and his senses were absolutely gone. You know? Absolutely gone. But then you know what? You know what, Nicholas? Thank you for just listening to my commentary. Look, when Joe Smith was getting caught with shots, there we could see that straight right hand through the middle, left hook just left him bewildered and befuddled on the ropes, and the brother was just hurt. What's that? Ping of the week. Yep, said Smith had no defense. Smith had no defense. Maybe he was nervous or something, but that was a bad performance. Marcus Brown would beat Joe Smith Jr. You know what? I agree with you on that one. Joe Smith Jr. didn't have any game plan, and I'd like to know what game plan that he would go bring to into this fight. And he didn't have any game plan. South Raider. Listen, when you say like Andy Yard isn't in any trouble because, and this is no disrespect to Joe Smith Jr., but I'd like to know what game plan that he went into the ring with. He didn't have any. He didn't have any. And I've seen this a lot of times when we've seen punching power, that people just get gassed over this punching power. I'm seeing certain mistakes. John Scully Jr. actually works alongside, and who I rate, he's actually my good friend, and I rate him as well. But if you're walking into fire, what do you expect is going to happen? You're going to get burnt down. As Ali said, you know what I mean? You put water on the smoking. That's what you have to do. You have to work as this extinguisher. That's what you have to do. But credit where it's due. Beterbiev, that was a monstrous performance. Now he is now WBO, WBC, IBF, and WBO World Light Heavyweight Champion of the world. And that's a big thing. That's a massive thing. There's only one outstanding belt right now for him to become undisputed champion, and that would be against Bivol. But you know what? Thank you very much, Sally. Listen, Yard will catch him, you know. I just want man to realize this. Yard will catch him. I mean, and I'm not even going to tell you, I'm not even going to break down the technical prowessing why he'll catch him, because I know Scully will listen to what I'm saying. He works with Beterbiev. So I'm not even talking at this thing, but I know. What's that? G Child, big up yourself. Shout out to Legend Spence. Make sure that you all like and subscribe. Right? Fan of AY, but who'll struggle with Beterbiev or Bivol. I hear that talk, but we're entitled to our opinions. Thank you very much. Fight Fan TV. Beterbiev looked 37 years young tonight. But Beterbiev he's a big age man. He's a big age man. But I mean, I know what I know, and I have to give him credit because that was a tremendous performance. Right, what's that? South Raider. Maybe Yard will catch him. Keeps on going up. Maybe Yard will catch him. It's gone now. I can't even catch it because, like, yeah. Thank you very much. You're on point now, Gary. Maybe Yard will catch him, but he will be able to take it. No. Stop for a second now. No disrespect to Callum Johnson. Callum Johnson, and I was telling people, I remember doing the build up for that. This is why I was at Sky. Myself and Badu Jack did the breakdown for that fight. And I was saying the shot has to be administered for him to cause the trouble would be his left hook. And Callum Johnson caught Beterbiev with the left hook, and Beterbiev went down. When people say, oh, but it was a flash knockdown and look what he did afterwards, no, he could still got caught. So if you're getting caught by Callum Johnson ain't as fast as Anthony Yard. Callum Johnson hasn't got a punch array of Anthony Yard. So, yeah. But you know what? I'm not going to take away nothing from Beterbiev because I actually like the guy. I've been watching the build-up, blood, sweat, and tears, the build-ups that they've been having. I like actually Joe Smith Jr. Both of them really, really classy individuals. Beterbiev's in the ring now. He's getting interviewed. I like Beterbiev. Nice guy. M saying this Beterbiev guys, someone needs to check his gloves. No, I don't think. Listen, if you're walking straight into the firing line, you're going to get shot. And that's what we saw tonight. He walked straight into the firing line, got caught, got knocked out, and it is what it is. But that was a very, very good performance. I mean, let's just call it as it is. That was a good performance. Get more questions up in air. I'm going to give Tundi a ring right now to try and find out what's going on. Oh yes, we just got retweeted by my little sister, Clarissa Shields. I mean, let me just get Tundi on the line. We gotta get the gossips on this thing. Right, there's anti yard now. They're trying anti yard and Tundi. Question was just asked: does he want to fight Bivol or Yard for the undisputed? They're talking like there hasn't been an undisputed champion. He said he prefers the unified to fight Bivol, but it's been contracted in for him to fight Anthony Yard. It's been booked, so I think that's in October. So, we shall see. Giving Tundi a phone call right this second so we can hear what's going on. If he's not, because I know that he's going to have to go, I know they're going to be doing bits. Then we get all the Tun. Yeah, Tun. What's up? Yeah, you're live on The Fight Is Right. You always do this. I'm really excited. Yeah. Yeah, can you you guys let me know if you can hear Tundi loud enough? Right. We'll just see your shiny face on the TV.
Oh wow.
You and AY, because as soon as when they asked him a question like who do you want to fight next in Beterbiev, where he said, would you like to fight Andy Yard or for the undisputed? And he said, I don't mind, but undisputed. But the thing about it is this: I don't busy what you want. You're contracted to fight Andy Yard. It's simple as that.
Yeah, for sure. October, it's a done deal.
Yep, of course it's a done deal. And I like the chain, I like the shine, I like the smile. Yeah, but I'm feeling the Adidas top. Oh yeah, sorry, let me big up Blow, because I got the jacket. You dropped it down at the barbershop. Let me just big up Blow, you know what I mean, for my baseball jacket. Big up yourself, my friends, them. So what did you think of the performance, Sunday?
It's good. I mean, I was said, listen, he's a power puncher. I thought it'd be faster than that. You know, that's why I always like to see them as live in the flesh. So the punches just look clubbing, but from the off, I was just saying to myself, we're gonna do that to him. What he just done to Joe Smith, we're gonna do that to him. So yeah, it's exciting. You know, with Ant and with Beterbiev, we've got two known punchers. Obviously, he's known at a higher level to be a puncher, but I know Andy Yard can punch way harder than Joe Smith Jr. You know, and a lot of these guys. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a good matchup, and it's going to be one the fans are going to be. It's going to be a beautiful night, man. I can't wait.
Tun, this is also what I want to ask you, because you know, like I ain't gonna talk no tactics or anything else down no phone because I know that John Scully will listen to everything that I say to think I'm not giving the man no energy, bro. Right?
Yes.
But what I'm saying is this: like in the fight, why did Joe Smith Jr. have it in his mind to say he's gonna fight fire with fire?
I have no idea, but for me, that was only his ever chance. That was only his only chance, because I feel he doesn't really have great boxing skills, but he's got heart, tenacity, will, and he went for it. You can't blame him for going for it, because you only get one shot, and it's better to go out fighting than to go out a coward. And so I respect those for trying that.
Yeah, no, Tundi, I get it. I respect him as well, but I just think that was a very, very stupid game plan, because.
Yeah, but we know he's not a boxer. He ain't a boxer. He's just a fighter. He's just a raw fighter. You know, and you can't, we see that with Bibble and other fighters. What's the other guy that beat him? The Puerto Rican guy, whatever, his first loss. He's not a boxer, he's a brawler. You know, but when you get to this level, you have to have boxing skills.
100% to me.
We know Andy's got a world of boxing skills and can punch.
Turn is like he was watching a live, because that's exactly what I was saying. You wouldn't be fighting a man that you'll be fighting a man that can catch and counter. There's nothing. We'll talk about it later. I'm not even letting that no secrets.
Andy's got a world of press behind him. The American fans are screaming yard. So it's gonna be a blockbuster.
Bro, it's going to be a big boy fight, man. I'm so looking forward to this. I'm so looking forward to this. Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be a very, very good. Yeah, did you also watch the undercard, son?
Just we came in at the third of fourth round of Castro Diaz, and then obviously the Ramirez, or what's his name, Roby.
Yeah, Nova versus Ramirez. Nova got Brock up, bro.
Well, I can't even shout to you now because there's a billion press right in front of me.
All right.
Press right in front of me, and they're all going to do an app. So, yeah, I'll call you back if anything, if I can.
All right, cool, Ton. Yeah, I mean, I'm giving these men on their hour. Carlos, come on, it's like we're 39 minutes in, bro. I'm going back to my bed, bro. All right, big up, Ton. Yeah, 100%. Yes. That was Tunde Ajayi. You know what I mean? I'm going to try and get some more gossips on this thing, because let's use some little black book magic powers right now. There is no way Yard beats. I'm hearing this. All you guys are talking on this, like, you guys don't know. It's like boxing is being massively subjective, but boxing is also about game plans. That's the major thing. Boxing is about game plans. And can you bring in the right game plan for you and then administer the game plan? Right? I'm not taking away nothing from Joe Smith Jr., but he fought fire with fire. And you fought fire with fire, and it was like you came with a matchstick going up in against the furnace. So it didn't bode well for him at all. You know what I mean? It didn't bode well for him. But I was impressed. You guys just tick the like and subscribe button. We're gonna and remember, we're doing our show tomorrow. We're most probably going at about 10 o'clock tomorrow. You know what I mean? Please forgive me for not having a show last week, but it was because, you know what I mean, it was a passing of my mum. So Gary, some guy's saying that to block some idiot on there. So any long talk, people have to just get blocked. Ping of the week. These men don't understand boxing, Spence. Trust me. You know what I mean? You know what? Ping of the week. I'm not people just see supposed punching power or that, and then you get gassed by it. Don't get twisted. Two-time Olympian in Beterbiev. So he knows what he's doing, right? But there's ways where I can see that him getting beat, and we shall see. But you know what? That's going to be a massive fight. It's going to be in London. You even heard Bob Arum say the same thing, saying how the fight would be easier to be made, and I'm looking forward to this. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to this. Daniel Day, you know what? We need to see what is going to happen. We need to see what's going to happen, and it's going to be interesting. All right, Ronnie. You know what? I could turn this really into me telling you why I believe that Annie Yard was going to come out successful against Bivol against Beterbiev, but I'm not going to. And the reason why I'm not going to because the person that works in his corner in John Scully, who's the assistant coach, is actually a good friend of mine. And I know he'll be listening. I'm not going to give these men no pointers. But I know what I know. You guys know what you know. And, you know what I mean? We shall see because the fight's going to happen. And as Tony said, Anti-Yard is just being surrounded by all of the press right now. So they're just doing their little bits and all the rest of it. So we shall sit and see. We shall sit and see what boxing is about styles. It's also about conjecture. And certain times you have to be blessed with the eyes to see certain things. Right? There are no real special effects with Beterbiev. But he's a good fighter. No one ain't going to turn around and say he's not a good fighter. He is a good fighter. And he's a vastly experienced man. But you also got to look at the fact that he's 37 years old. Right? And obviously, somebody coming forward to that kind of brute ferocity, you're going to be in trouble. You know what I mean? You're going to be in trouble. But I know what I know. And that's what I'm saying. Right, ping of the week. Thank you very much. He's saying that you man are acting like Yard ain't got any defense or boxing skill. And I'm going to say again, and I want you guys to listen to me. Callum Johnson floored Beterbiev. I rest my case. You know what I mean? I rest my case. Floored him. I ain't got nothing else to say. Well, in fact, I've got loads to say, but I'm just not going to let the cat out of the bag. I mean, I know what I know. You guys must know what you guys know. And, you know what I mean? And we shall see. Right, Sky, my camera right now, Sky Action. They're showing the rematch right now. Not the rematch, the first fight between Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran, which is an absolutely incredible fight. Right, Chris, I'm gonna answer you on this one, yeah? And you're lucky Tunda's not there because you'd have got blocked. Right. Where you're talking that he couldn't be an alcoholic in Kovalev. You know what I mean? Now I want you to realize this now. Anti-Yard, that was his baptism, and everybody's got to go for it. And what don't break you makes you stronger, my friend. And as we've seen certain things with Anti-Yard, certain things haven't broken him. Thank you very much. I'm glad that Gary's on point now. We're not in a no impertinence. Just block your ass straight. You know what? The thing which is kind of cool is like I'm not gonna go back and forth on the reasons why I think that Andy is gonna come out victorious. Of course, I'm gonna be biased, right? That's number one. Because Andy's my guy. Tundi ain't my guy. He's my brother, right? But I'm saying if I was to go look on, I see flaws, and you're gonna have to wake up very early in the morning to have watched more boxing than me and to know what's going on. All right, then. See what I said, Spence? Let me go see that. Nicholas says, see what I said, Spence? It's a bit further up in the response to these negative haters. Listen, I'm not even jumping on big up boxing bonkers as well, right? I'm not even going to turn around and say that these guys are haters or all the rest of it. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, right? Everyone's entitled to their opinion. It's how you voice your opinion. Right? Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But I know what I know. Big up Alexander Wilson. The fight I believe it's going to be announced because it got announced a few weeks ago that Frank Warren booked. I think it's for October the 20th. He's booked a venue in the UK for that fight. Bob Arum said that he's making Anthony Yarby be in with the winner. And now we've got to see what's going to happen. Yeah, Guzzy, of course, bro Spence, you're going to get all the trolls right now. I'm not really worried about that because those guys don't understand boxing. They don't understand the technicalities of boxing. So obviously when you see something and it looks like something really big or something really massive, you're going to get gassed by it. I'm not going to get gassed by those kind of things. Beterbiev is a good fighter. But I'm not, me? No, I can't get gassed by those things. At all. Sorry. There has never been the commentators were saying that there hasn't been an undisputed champion at light heavyweight. No, what he should have said was that there hasn't been in the 4 belt era. There hasn't been. So since the introduction of the WBO, there hasn't been, and that was in 1988. There hasn't been a 4 belt champion. Roy Jones was regarded as an undisputed champion at the time when he was light heavyweight champion, but he didn't have the WBO title. And the WBO was formed then, right? But the WBO wasn't seen as a serious title then. So the last man to be the undisputed champion was actually the great Michael Spinks when he won his world title against Eddie Mustafa Muhammad in 1981, and he kept that crown for 4 years to 85. Then he moved up to fight Larry Holmes for the world title. Elite Taxi, thank you very much. Big up yourself, yeah. So, but it is good to say that we're looking for an undisputed champion. But now Bivol holds 3 of the 4 crowns So because he holds 3 of the 4, um, he's a unified champion. He's in the same light as Errol Spence because Errol Spence holds 3 of the 4. And yes, we would like to see an undisputed champion, but he's got the bigger claim to being the best light heavyweight in the world because he holds more of the belts. So if you look at every belt as an infinity stone from Marvel comic books, he's. Let me go see here. Us brothers, who's this? Famous Ogun says, us brothers in America riding with Yard. He even looked like a brother from America. Salute. Come on, man. You know what I mean? Well, we're saluting back. Straight standard. You know what I mean? We're saluting back. Thank you very much for that one, my friend. And also, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. You'll be hearing a lot more, me being a lot more upbeat. I've used this session as a therapeutic session. Just before jumping on, my missus saying, like, how do you feel about going and doing a show? How you feel about doing a show now? And I said, I'm going to go do it anyway. You know what I mean? Even though I needed Tundi to be bouncing back off, but it's the first show that I've done since the passing of my mum. And I haven't really spoken publicly to anybody. You know what I mean? I'll give you a little post here and there on Instagram, but I haven't really spoken. So, yeah. You know what? I'm seeing a couple more questions come up on here. I'd like to know what's going on. You lot got 9 more minutes with me, and I'm going off to my bed. That's what I'm doing. Bobby Wright. Look, Bobby Wright, big up yourself, man. I don't blame you to be jumping off and going to your bed because that's what I'm gonna go. That's what I'm gonna go do in a second, mate. We all tired. You know the rules. But yeah, it's a great time for boxing right now. A great time for boxing right now. I think what's it? It's been announced now for AJ's rematch with Usyk, which is going to be in Saudi Arabia, and I'm actually going to that fight. Sully says, Spence, do you think Beterbiev can whack? Yes, I do believe that he can punch. I'm not telling him I say he can't punch. He can punch. And he's not one dimensional as well. He comes to seek and destroy. No. When you're saying that Roy Jones was the last undisputed light heavyweight champion, go and do your research. The WBO title was around then. Roy Jones refused to go to Germany because he said that after what happened to him in the '88 Olympics, that he's not fighting outside of America, right? So Roy Jones could be classed as the undisputed champion, which I'm not taking away from Roy Jones, but the WBO crown was still available for him to pick up, but Roy Jones refused to fly out. He said, I'm not leaving America because no one's not going to bump me. So you can never give me a history check, right? Believe me on that one. But I'm saying in the 4-belt era, when we start to look at the WBO as a recognizable belt of that figure. So before him, it was Michael Spinks, who was the last universally recognized undisputed champion in the world. It was actually Michael Spinks. Big up, famous. I mean, salute to you as well, man. What's that? Those brothers out in Dallas, find out if they've got Jamaican descent. You never know. Salute, Spence. You look like one of us too, brother. No, you look like one of me. You look like me. But big up for the support. I'm very, very grateful for that. I'm very, very grateful for the support. The Nicholas ain't gonna lie. I'm getting hungry. Listen to me. I'm trying to tell you this now. It's a great time for boxing right now. It's a great time. There's talk that Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford is going to be signed off for October as well. That's the talk. I am so looking forward to that. I am so looking forward to that. That is a must. Big up Leon. You know, flash up the Yardie flag. You know the thing. You know the thing set. We have to sit back and wait patiently. Right, Nicholas, who have I got for Spence? You know what? Crawford, in the beginning, I favoured heavily in the beginning. And I'm talking like this fight's been spoken about now for the last three years. So I remember when I used to be at Sky, I was heavily favouring Terence Crawford because I thought Terence Crawford just had more to his game than what Errol Spence has got. But Errol Spence impressed me greatly, and I mean greatly in the Ugas fight. So the gap is closing. And not only that, both guys don't fight regular. Errol Spence had that car crash, and I think that car crash was the blessing that's really made him look at his career or his lifestyle outside of fight time to say, like, I've got to fix up on certain things. And because he's shown me that he's done that. Before, I used to have Bud Crawford an overwhelming favorite in that fight. Now, I'm telling you, the fight is a lot closer, and you know what? It's one of them kind of ones there, and that's what makes the fight intriguing. Before, I was really big on Bud Crawford, and I mean massively big on him. But now the fight's become closer. I think Bud Crawford is still like one of the best fighters in the world. And this is why this fight's interesting, because you have arguably the top 3 pound for pound fighters looking to go at it. So because of that, then I'm saying, right, Spence is a master of the subtle things. Thank you very much, DWF Herbie. He's very technical and fundamentally sound. It's an old school style. It's just subtle and focus on the basics. And if you look at his trainer, who does not get the props that he should be getting, Derek James is a man that works on fundamentals. He's not really into the special effects. He's into the sound fundamentals. Look at the work that he done with Charlo, who is now the undisputed 154 pound fighter in the world. They work on subtleties. It's no real massive, it's the fundamentals, and that's why he's a joy to watch. You know what I mean? He's a joy to watch. And it's hurtful. It's those, and it's like it concentrates where you punch the kidney, you punch the liver, he'll punch you in the arm socket. This is why the fight is a good fight. But the thing is this, because Errol Spence isn't that guy he's not that braggadocious, he's not out screaming and throwing over tables and stuff like that. So he kind of goes under the radar. But the people who know. And where he's from in Texas, he sells out the place. You can't tell me a next fighter that's bringing those kind of numbers. What was it, 68,000 only for Mikey Garcia? Who are bringing those kind of numbers inside boxing, outside the Canelo. I'm talking fans to go out and watch a fight. Errol Spence is a serious guy. Errol Spence brings numbers. But don't get twisted, Bud Crawford is ridiculously good. I remember speaking to Dave Cool about it. Dave Cool was saying to me, the best guy that he's ever seen live has been Terence Crawford. And this is the night when Bud Crawford came over here to fight Ricky Burns to alleviate him of his WBO lightweight title. So, you know, fun and games aside. Right, October 29th is the time where they're talking about Bud Crawford. Ping of the week, thank you very much. Where they're talking about Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. That's the time. So if that fight happens, then at that time there, then yeah, we got know that it's going to be some big thing. You know what I mean? It's going to be a big fight. And I'm so looking forward because that fight, I will most probably jump on the plane for that and fly out for that fight. Yeah, Carrington impressed me as well. Good fire, man. Good fire. But that Ramirez, you impressed me. I'm not gonna lie. That's the way Ramirez has beat up Nova. I was like, it was jaw dropping. My mouth was like, what am I watching here? What am I watching here? So yeah, that's the power hour. I've done the power hour right now because it's like 10 to 5. What's that? G Talks Boxing, Richard or Yard or Boatsi. I give them all the best chance to beat um, Beterbiev. You know what? I'm telling you. But you know what? I'm not really going to go on this because I don't want this to be. I don't want to take away nothing from Beterbiev because that was, you know what I mean. Yeah, Michael, M. Jack, Derek James was in Brown's corner versus Beterbiev. And how did that work out? LOL. Brown ain't an Iyad. And also, Derek James, I'm going to tell you now, is a grotesquely underrated trainer. He's grotesquely underrated because his fighters in Errol Spence Jr. and in Jamal Charlo, those guys collectively have 7 world title belts. 7 world title belts. So we can't, he must be doing something right. If you got 2 men in 2 different weight classes who have been separated, by £7, and look at the work that these guys are doing. Look at the body of work that these guys are doing. You can't take nothing away from him. You can't at all. You know what? Who's that? Bonkers Boxing. You know what? Yeah, shout out to Uzi. I just give him a shout. Yeah, I mean, Boxing Bonkers always supporting the fighters, right? The Stamina for Sale YouTube channel. So yeah, big up yourself for that one. Simon Abbott says Bob Arum showing his age promoting this evening. The fight has possibly the best fight of the year. The you know what? I'm keeping it 100 now. Gary, I've done the hour. You can catch us most probably later on today, later on this evening, and I would say around about 10 o'clock for us to do The Fight Is Right with Babatunde Ajayi, live from out in the States. I mean, I know Tom was saying like Ant was getting, let me just try 20 for one last time to help him sign out the fight with us as well. The Fight Is Right. And then I'm off to my bed. I mean, I've got loads of things to go and do. But I'm going to say this, so you guys just being on there helped me madly because I was, yeah, I mean, I get like little anxiety bursts. So yeah, you guys have helped me. You guys have kind of settled my stomach. Don't know if I'm going to get turned right now. Joe Barrow, thank you very much. No, thank you for just jumping on with us, man. Seriously, just thank you. But yeah, can't get Tundi because he's emotional at the press conference or walking around and doing some interviews right now. So on that note, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be jumping. I like answering history questions, So I see a couple of men trying out some little history things. Ayukin says Roy Jones had the WBA, WBO. No, Roy Jones never, ever, ever had the WBO title. Ever did Roy Jones have the WBO title. right? So go and check. Roy Jones, are you kidding? You're jumping up and down with your bruising self. Roy Jones never ever fought for the WBO title. Ever. All right? So, I mean, that's void now. But I do like the history questions because it keeps me on point, keeps me sharp. You know what I mean? Keeps me sharp just like my fade. And the next thing, let me just big up. Pick of the week, yes, Spence. Love for streaming today. Peace out, lads. I'm off to sleep. And I'm going to go doing the same thing as well. So, you know what I mean? In the famous words of my brother from another mother, Baba Tundi Ajayi, where he says, dream it, believe it, become it. I jump in, I say, come on down. Peace, two fingers. We are OUT.